Have you ever wondered why do we overeat, or why is eating often the hardest part of every attempt to lose weight? I want you to think of the ways we eat while addressing our weight problems and how they actually work for and against us. Eating the right foods in the right amounts and at the right times based on the diet you are following can be very confusing. Eating becomes difficult when we have many external rules to follow and we aren't following the wisdom of our own bodies. By wisdom of our own bodies, I mean our body isn't a guide in directing the amount or types of food we eat, but the external voices are. Every new diet sells us a new reason why we can't lose weight and how this new diet is the ultimate answer. We start believing the sales page for the diet products and stop believing the truth our body is trying to tell us. There are two reasons why people overeat, and both these reasons include ignoring our body. The first reason people overeat is due to too much deprivation. They restrict their food intake for a period of time by going on a crash diet or not trying to eat at all. Inevitably, they end up overeating because for each unrealistic restriction, there is an equal and opposite overeat. By going on a highly restrictive diet, we must disconnect from our body's signals of hunger and feed it according to some external plan. This is painful for both us and our body. Once the disconnection has been maintained for a certain amount of time, the urge to eat becomes unbearable for our body, whose job it is to keep us from starving, so we end up eating much more than we need. The disconnection from our body has now amplified this issue because the denial of the hunger signal now leads to denial of the full signal and overeating becomes common. This is why we end up eating much more than we normally did before we went on a diet. The whole point is our body is primal. It thinks we still live in a cave with limited food available. When we don't honor our hunger and eat according to our body's needs, we create problems. When we deprive the body of food, it's designed to slow down, to conserve energy and to hold on to fat. It does this to protect us and to keep us alive when there is little food available. It's a brilliant design. It's designed to keep us alive. When we were cave dwellers, our bodies needed to adjust between times of feast and famine. When there was no food available, our cave-dwelling body adjusted its metabolic rate, the rate at which it used up food. When we keep our bodies reasonably fed, it knows that there is no need to keep extra fat around because there is plenty of food coming in at regular intervals. As a result, our body's metabolism speeds up and fat comes off easily. On a smaller scale, we may choose to not eat all day until our body starts screaming with hunger. By that time, our body is starting to wonder if there is any food available. So, it goes in the emergency mode of you must eat immediately. At this point, we eat past full just to get our body to calm down. Either way, we end up overeating all the time. The second reason people overeat is a lack of awareness and complete disconnection. So many people are unconscious eaters. They just check out and eat without awareness all the time. They are completely out of touch with their body and are not conscious of what its needs are, why they are eating and when they have to stop, and what is the nutritional value of the food. They eat based on what is available, on the timing, and sometimes even on circumstances. This type of eating reasons that it is morning, so we need to eat our breakfast whether we are hungry or not. When it's lunchtime, we eat because it's time to eat, not because we are hungry. And once we reach work, there is a plate of food for everyone to share again. We eat some to be social because we are polite and we don't want to offend anyone, with no regard to our body. And we certainly aren't hungry because we eat and we have eaten so much already. So much love and effort that has gone into preparation of food cannot be wasted, so we keep polishing our meals one after the other. Our body and its opinion being completely irrelevant. Paying attention to what we eat is a huge part of staying consciously awake of our life. If too much deprivation leads to overeating and being disconnected leads to overeating, the answer becomes eating only what our body requires for fuel, for keeping us energized. So how do we know how much our body requires for fuel? One option is to go see a nutritionist and ask them to give us a formula based on how much time we spend doing our daily activities and how many calories we expend. Then perhaps we will be able to determine exactly how many calories we need to eat. Then all we have to do is count each calorie before putting it in our mouth as per the number provided by a nutritionist. Simple. Sounds okay till real hunger strikes. How easy it is to do the math of calorie counting before eating anything. Think about it. Especially when we are hungry and tired or just want to have a good meal with our friends. If you've tried calorie counting in the past, you're probably aware how tedious and impractical it is to eat that way. I have a much easier suggestion. If you really think about it, the true expert of how much your body requires for fuel is your own body. If you want to know how much your body requires for fuel, just ask it. It comes with a sophisticated communication device. It's called hunger and fullness. Our body whispers to us daily, all day long. It takes practice to pay attention and honor its signals. It requires you to stay in the present moment and connect to yourself. If only you will listen to your hunger and fullness, your body will give you the exact formula for eating. If you follow it, you will only eat exactly what you need. It really is as simple as that. The expert is built in and has been with you this entire time. You have just been ignoring it. The choice has been to pay attention to your beautiful, brilliant, complex body that whispers wisdom to you all day long, or to turn your attention outwards and pay attention to pre-designed food plans that dictate what you eat, how you eat, without stopping to pay attention to your body's response. It sickens me to think I have been disturbing my body for so many years. Think about how much you have underutilized the most amazing tool you already have. Your body is a brilliant source of wisdom. It runs the most complicated organization of processes that you can't begin to understand. It truly has all the wisdom you need beyond your wildest comprehension. Yet, we ignore it and fall prey of eating plans that don't feel good. You trust your body to tell you how to feed it. It's the expert on what you should be eating. It knows your body better than any diet expert or calculation. It knows what food makes it feel good. It knows when it wants to eat, and it also knows when it's satisfied. You have been trained to ignore your body by eating too much, then depriving it later by going on a diet. You need to retrain yourself to pay attention to your body and its wisdom. If you will listen to what it says about eating, it will listen to you to have a say in releasing some fat. Let's start our journey of healing our relationship with our body by listening to what it is saying more closely. I want you to remember that no diet can ever substitute for the wisdom of your own body.